Department of Homeland Security approves Alligator Alcatraz for illegal aliens in Florida. What does that sound like to you? Yeah, me too. Let's get into it. Here we go. Title of the video we're about to watch. Everglades Immigration Detention Center plan approved. Draws backlash. I can't imagine why. Got such a percentage of the population that just wants to support the criminal element within their community, don't they? They want to support criminal element. They want to support terrorism. They don't want to support law and order. Yeah. Got a lot of just nonsense going on in the country right now. Let's watch this video.
In this 37-page immigration enforcement plan, the state of Florida asked the Department of Homeland Security to ease up on certain detention requirements, saying, quote, waiving select requirements would significantly increase the state's capacity to detain individuals. Well, now it seems like Florida has come up with a plan to do just that.
As I call it, Alligator Alcatraz.
30 square miles in the Everglades. That's where Florida Attorney General James Uthmeier says the Department of Homeland Security has approved a plan for a 5,000-bed immigration detention facility. Uthmeier made the announcement Monday on a conservative podcast, saying that Alligator Alcatraz will temporarily utilize the airfield at the Dade Collier Training and Transition Airport. The AG saying, quote, we'll have some light infrastructure and a lot of heavy-duty tents and trailer facilities. We don't have to build a brick-and-mortar. We'll detain, deport, and get people out of this country.
That's the Florida Attorney General saying that. I live in Washington State. We've got our Washington State Attorney General as our governor now. Could you imagine a Washington State Attorney General saying that, yeah, we'll have some light infrastructure, a lot of heavy-duty tents, trailer facilities, nothing permanent, doesn't have to be a lot of money. We don't have to build a lot of brick and mortar. We'll detain, deport, and get people out of this country. Oh, getting the criminals out. I mean, that's what it's all about, right? You let 20 million in, now you got to scooch some out. It's what we're doing. It's what Florida's doing.
People get out, there's not much waiting for them other than alligators and pythons. Nowhere to go, nowhere to hide.
Property is owned by Dade and Collier counties. Governor DeSantis' office sent us this letter of intent to purchase the land for $20 million. The mayor of Miami-Dade County responded in this letter, saying the site should be valued closer to $200 million. She expressed concerns about public safety and the environment. Environmental groups have also been critical of the idea.
Floridians want our public lands, our natural places, our water to be protected, not to be more impacted.
I asked the department.
Yeah, but that also means protected from the criminal element. And that's exactly what they're doing here in Florida, protecting America. Huh. Weird, right? So you got the land. I get that. You want that to be protected. But in order to do that, you have to get rid of the bad guys. You gotta scooch the bad guys on. You gotta move them on, right? To prison or away, depending on where they need to go.
Of Homeland Security about the timeline of getting Alligator Alcatraz up and running in 2 weeks. The Department of Homeland Security said in a statement, we are working at turbo speed on cost-effective to deliver on the American people's mandate for mass deportations of criminal illegal aliens. We will expect facilities and bed space in just days thanks to our partnership with Florida. We're still pushing for answers to a few questions. Will the land be sold? How will the property be paid for? And what policies will be implemented to ensure the safety of workers and migrants? The Attorney General says the facility will house undocumented...
Who cares? Let's make it happen.
And, quote, it will be open the first week of July. I reached out to the Attorney General's office. He sent me a statement saying, quote, I'm proud to help support President Trump and Secretary Noem in their mission to fix our illegal immigration problem once and for all. Alligator Alcatraz and other Florida facilities will do just that. We in Florida will fight alongside this administration to keep Florida safe, strong, and free. Reporting in West Palm Beach, I'm Michael Hoffman. Back to you.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate your reporting there. Yeah. When I first saw Alligator Alcatraz, that's such a great title. I mean, it just kind of tells you it's out in the middle of a swamp somewhere, right? It's out in the middle of a swamp. You got alligators, you got bugs. Yeah. A little bit of alligator justice. Department of Homeland Security approved an immigrant detention center in Florida named Alligator It's according to a report from the New York Times. Breitbart News reported Florida Attorney General James Uthmeyer initially pitched the idea to turn the virtually abandoned Miami-Dade Collier training facility into a detention center to house illegal aliens, which will be guarded by alligators and pythons. Pythons. Got big snakes. I mean, hey, yeah, you can try running. You can try escaping this, but I probably wouldn't. This is referred to as Alligator Alcatraz. I think it's the best one. I call it Alligator Alcatraz. This is 30 square mile area completely surrounded by the Everglades. Now, that doesn't exactly sound like a piece of land that anybody is clamoring after, right? 30 square mile area. They want $200 million for that. And DeSantis is willing to pay 20. Some pretty big discrepancy there between, value, right? It presents an efficient, low-cost opportunity to build a temporary detention facility because you don't need to invest that much in the perimeter, he said. You don't even need a fence. Yeah, go ahead. Run. Hey, why don't you try swimming across that small body of water over there? Just see what happens. What do you say? I'll give you a 30-second head start, and then we'll start counting. All right, you ready? Timer goes off. If detainees were to escape, there's not much waiting for them other than alligators and pythons. You know what? Why don't we have more of these facilities for U.S. prisoners? You know what I mean? Yeah. Per the New York Times, the facility be composed of large tents. I'm guessing those probably aren't air conditioned. I don't know. That sounds hot. Florida summer. And other planned facilities will cost the state around $450 million a year to run. Now, they've always got these kind of facilities, coming on, going off, coming on. Remember when Let's Go Brandon Johnson was trying to build a tent facility on a toxic piece of land that testing wouldn't allow for the parts per million of, some kind of chemical. Let's Go Brandon Johnson. You are literally building that on a toxic site. And he had to give that up. They brought in like 6 inches of crushed rock of gravel and said, we called it good. It is, it's all good. Toxicity's gone. No, that actually wasn't. I think FEMA shut it down, right? Just some more harebrained nut job stuff by Let's Go Brandon Johnson. In a post on X, Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem explained that the new facilities to house criminal illegal aliens would in large part be funded by FEMA Shelter and Services Program. Under President Trump's leadership, we are working at turbo speed to deliver cost-effective. Okay, we read that. We will expand facilities and bed space in just days, thanks to our partnership with Florida. These new facilities will in large part be funded. Yep, we already read that. And the Biden administration used a piggy bank to spend hundreds of millions of American taxpayer dollars to house illegal aliens, including at the Roosevelt Hotel that served as a Tren de Aragua base of operations and was used to shelter Laken Riley's killer. We're still going with that. In contrast to what the Biden administration did, they set up these hotels, luxury. There were once at luxury hotels. What do you think the Roosevelt Hotel in New York City looks like right now? What's the inside of an average room after a couple of years of criminal illegals basically staying in all the hotel rooms in the Roosevelt in New York City and Manhattan? I think that's Manhattan, isn't it? Yeah. What do you think those rooms look like? What do you think those rooms smell like? Have they had renovation? Have they had updating? Hope so, right? Whereas a tent, you just throw a tent away, right? Just throw it away, just toss it. I'm proud to help support President Trump and Secretary Noem in their mission to fix our illegal immigration problem once and for all. Okay? We're in Florida. We in Florida will fight alongside this administration to keep Florida safe, strong, and free. Here we go. Here's the flip side. Enough talk from Kristi Noem, whomever else. We know where they stand, and we agree with them. Here's Axios. They're going to give us the flip side to why this is a terrible, bad idea. Want to know about Florida's planned Alligator Alcatraz? In less than a week's time, a proposal to build an immigration detention center on an airstrip in the Everglades went from a controversial idea to getting the green light from federal government. Why it matters. The facility will have lasting environmental impacts on a stretch of wilderness that's vital to Florida's ecosystem. Isn't every single time government wants to put one of these projects up, it's a massive impact to the environmental concern regarding this project? Isn't it always that way? So is it or isn't it? And this is in the middle of the jungle. I mean, doesn't sound like there's much around this that is developed, like nothing. So if you've got alligators and pythons surrounding the perimeter, it sounds like a perfect place to do this, right? It's set to cost the state about $450 million. I think that was for all of the systems they had going on there, right? It's also the latest example of state leaders signaling their alignment with President Trump's immigration crackdown. Somebody's got to do it. My state, Washington, is failing miserably. We have literally no political backbone here. My elected officials here in the Seattle area, all they want to do is help criminals. They want to help illegals. They want to help anybody but business owners and people trying to do things the legal way. People trying to eke out these livings. The latest on Monday. We're getting to it now. Trucks were seen carrying portable restrooms. Oh, we got porta potties. Bringing in the porta potties. Those smell really good. Late afternoon sun in Florida. And industrial generators to the site. All right. They're going to power it up, boys. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem told multiple media outlets the federal government will fund the state's plans. The Attorney General said a bunch of stuff between the lines. Under Florida law, the governor can overtake any private property if deemed necessary to handle an emergency. The announcement, which Uthmeier called a great opportunity for Florida, was met with swift pushback from environmentalists, conservation organizations, and residents across the state. Yeah, it sounds like a good idea to me, a difficult place for people to escape from, and if they do, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. That whole thing. On Sunday, hundreds gathered at the site to protest the plan. There are so many effing protests going on right now. I mean, recently, we have gone from, we protested Elon. We didn't like Elon. Elon was horrible. We protested and we vandalized Teslas. We protested the whole Palestine deal. Free Palestine. We did that, right? We were just all for Palestine. We were all for the, Hamas terrorists. Now we're all for Iran, more terrorism. And then we were protesting no kings. We were protesting no secret police, a bunch of imaginary stuff. The left, instead of figuring out an actual human being to run in the next election, they're just jerking around with a whole bunch of protests. And mainstream media thinks that these protests are really helping. It's mind-blowing, isn't it? On Sunday, hundreds gathered at the site to protest the plan. How's that going to work out? If Florida decides to develop this thing, they're just going to go ahead and do it. And this is Florida. So all you weak-ass protesters, go the F home. Because Florida's got a Alligator Alcatraz to build. In a state letter to state officials on Monday, Miami-Dade County Mayor Danielle Levine argued additional information and details, particularly around the environmental safeguards. You got a bunch of tents. They already said it's not a bunch of hard infrastructure. You got tents, you got generators, you got portable stuff. I mean, the alligators are going to be well fed, aren't they? I dare you. Make a run for it. Just go. See what happens. Reminds me of that movie. What was that? Paul Newman, Dustin Hoffman, Papillon. I think that was Dustin Hoffman and Paul Newman. I think it was. Papillon, right? Yeah. Oh, boy, they were on an island there, weren't they? Average daily population, immigration detention facilities. As long as it's more, I don't really care. The airstrip was once intended to be the Everglades jetport, the world's largest airport, about 5 times JFK. But a study that cautioned of the catastrophic impacts to the ecosystem, plus staunch opposition from a bunch of protesters out there not doing a job because they don't work. They're out there protesting progress. That's what they're doing. They're protesting development moving forward. What they're saying, the governor could stop this today if he wanted to, but he doesn't want to. He has stated commitment to the Everglades. If he wants to maintain any credibility, he has to stop this. Why? It doesn't sound like much of a negative impact to the footprint to me of the Everglades it's in. That is essentially wet jungle, right? It's what you got. Yeah. Mankind isn't really going to do much there. Even if you put up some structure, it will have a lot of heavy-duty tent. Yeah, National Guard will be there. We'll detain, deport, and get people out of this country. Last year, state officials proposed, then withdrew after strong community pushback, a plan to build pickleball courts, hotels, and golf courses in state parks. Well, we're not doing that. You're providing very rudimentary, and it sounds like rudimentary at best, Alligator Alcatraz. Environmental groups, including Friends of the Everglades, are also fighting a proposed rock mining operation on more than 8,000 acres of south of Lake Okeechobee in the Everglades. These protesters, they literally they have nothing better to do. They don't have lives. We're funding all of their life expenses through our taxpayers' dollars because clearly these people are losers. Because who goes out and protests? No kings. Well, last time I checked, there weren't any. Yeah, there weren't any, and you're protesting Nazis also, and also secret police. What other imaginary things can we protest against? Right? Like Antifa protests against fascism, right? And they pick like churches and things that are fascist. Imaginary. They're living in an imaginary land with imaginary boundaries and imaginary stuff going on because this bad boy here, Alligator Alcatraz, sounds like a good idea to me. You're making it a difficult place for people who shouldn't be escaping to escape from. Yeah, the criminal, illegal aliens. Round them up, put them in Alligator Alcatraz. What could go wrong? I want to see it. I want to see this go down. I hope this happens. Alligator Alcatraz. It's so good. So good. All right. That's it for me. Thanks so much for being here. We'll catch up with you in the next one. Bye for now.